Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to look at the third video in this module, which is entitled Identifying Potential Sources for Our Grants. So once we've started to look at what our project or initiative is going to be, and we have a sense of who we may be targeting out there, one of our next steps becomes where are some of those potential areas that I can get some grant sources from. Traditionally, we think often of grants being largely through government sources, whether those be at the municipal level, the provincial or state level, or at the federal level. However, there's also a number of areas out there where we can also look at for grant sources, whether those be trusts and foundations, where many organizations have been developed or set up to look at ways of funding work to help advance their agendas or objectives for those trusts or foundations. The other one, which is becoming more and more prevalent, is that of the private sector. Within the private sector now, there are a number of companies out there that, as part of either their community development or part of their giving back to the sector, that they're looking to provide some grants to meet some of their initiatives or areas that they'd like to have an impact on. The other potential area that we have is, while we're seeing more and more partnerships and collaboration out there within the grant distribution areas, there's partnerships between possibly government and some of the not-for-profit sector of looking at ways to best develop their programs. Once I look at some of those and I've gone through and I've set up my project and have determined who I want to try and target that to, I can now, the beauty of the whole technology and even part of this course that we're doing now is around a thing called the internet. So as we go out there, I can put some search in looking at who my target populations could be, the purpose of my project, to see what grants or may be out there for it. And that may direct me to some that are government, or some may be that trust or foundations or even private sector. But it provides that initial place for me to have my start to look at where I may be looking for potential sources and grant applications. Obviously, if I'm in either the sport or recreation, or I may be in the performing arts area that I may be looking, you can also look to see, okay, with my organization, who are grant agencies out there that we've traditionally gone through in the past? Where are some of those sources that might be out there to help us as we're moving along? Obviously, if I'm in the sport and recreation, or if I'm a cultural group or performing arts groups, many departments within governments or agencies have some contacts or have specific grants. Those are certainly areas that I may go to at least try and find out what could be available to me or to my organization. The word of mouth, individuals in your organization, don't think that you have to do the project in isolation. Talk with other members of your board, or talk to other contacts who may be out there that you could say, hey, this is the initiative we want to do. Are you aware of any organizations or any people at departments, agencies, private sector who have assisted similar things that maybe other people on your board have been involved with, whether it be through that organization or another organization they may be doing some work with? Often, as we did talk about, one of the characteristics with many grants programs, they do have contact persons or grant administrators for those programs. So while I may have a sense of what I want to do with my project, if I can't find a grant agency that really meets a lot of that I feel I'm comfortable with the criteria, or that program is really geared towards what I want to do or my specific initiative that I'm planning on looking for, give those people a call, because often they may be able to refer you to another agency or to another grant program that you haven't been able to cover up through your search to date. Also, besides that, those type of contacts, there are a number of different either internet sites or websites that are set up that people can go in that are designed to look at actually what I would consider similar to the updated version of the old grant directories, where there may be listings of trusts or foundations or grants that are available for specific purposes. Sometimes those grant directories, you can purchase them if you'd wish. Sometimes there may be a copy available at various libraries within your community. And as I say, the other is, if your organization does have some resources or wants to check out, there may be some on websites as well that you can look to. So while it's not an exhaustive list, this is just the ways of starting to identify some potential sources for your grants. We will talk about these further in future videos as we go through the course, and we'll be looking at identifying, and as you go through your own through the course, to identify some grant applications that you may do or some sample processes. It'll give you a better sense that the clearer that we could be as well on the purpose of our grant and what it is that we want to do, the easier it become to hopefully identify potential sources as you go down the road. So that's it for the end of this module. We look forward to seeing you for the up and coming ones as we start to move forward on the more of the grant process. Thanks and have a great day.